All right, so the Warriors are going back to the finals. Finals prediction will be out when we know their opponent, obviously. But let's talk about Dallas. Maybe it sucks right now if you're a Dallas fan, just the way that this series went against the Warriors, but overall, I feel like you got to be happy with this season, man. I mean, the Jason Kidd hire has been a win. I mean, I was pretty skeptical on that one, and I did not think they would be one of the best defensive teams in the league under Jason Kidd. The Porzingis trade ended up being a win because you got more athletic, you got more ball handling, you broke up his huge contract into smaller contracts, and also you knocked off the 1 seed. You can't take away that Game 7 against Phoenix for Mavs fans. But of course, we move on. So, just to touch on Luka real quick, I mean, yeah, defense and just being in the best shape possible opening next season, that's about it. Besides that, the guy's amazing. Even if there were some times in this game where it's like, maybe you could have ran back a little harder in transition. Anyway, let's talk about the Brunson deal. So there's a lot of possibilities here, man, between them just giving him whatever he wants because they need him, and they would be even more expensive than they already are next season. Of course, they've got his bird rights, so they can do that. Their salary situation does lighten up a little bit after next season, so they could just tell themselves, 1 year of luxury tax hell, and after that we can get out of it. Between Kleba, Powell, Dinwiddie, Bullock, Bertans, all their deals either end or become expirings within a year or two. But a lot of those dudes mattered a lot during this playoff run, so it depends on who do they really view as a keeper over the next however many seasons. Also, the salary cap is taking a pretty decent jump over the next 3 years. But back to Brunson, there's also the possibility of a sign and trade if somebody else really wants him and they've got something you want. I mean, I'll talk about it in a second here, but the center position and depth are the two biggest needs, besides, second star next to Luka, of course. I mean, they have some draft picks they can actually trade now, including this year's after they actually select it. But if a star became available, I don't think Dallas would be number one on the list for assets that can go back to that team. As far as team needs, I think they could really use someone with some downhill juice, a lob threat for Luka and all that, who can also protect the rim. Because, in this Warriors series especially, if you just had one guy who just had to freak him out a little bit with, he's cutting to the rim, he's rolling to the basket, he's in the dunker spot, I think it could have done a lot for him. I'm not saying they should abandon the 5-out stuff, though. It has been effective. It's just having something else would be nice, too. As far as who that guy is, I mean, the one name that we see people mention with Dallas this, last couple weeks has been Rudy Gobert. And, of course, I love to shoot down trade ideas. Looking at Dallas's assets, I don't think there's a good move there for Utah. Another name I see with them a lot is Miles Turner. The Pacers' asking price for Turner was 2 firsts or a first and a young player they'd feel good about. That was back around the deadline. And who knows if the Pacers would really want to move him like that. But, Turner, I feel like his defense would definitely be welcomed on this team because they do need a little bit more rim protection. As far as his offense, I mean, his offense has always been a little sort of come and go, 34% from three. Teams aren't really scared of him from outside, even if he can make a three. He's also never been a dominant dive guy, but he's also never played with Luka with 3 shooters spacing the floor. Whether the Pacers would want any of the guys on Dallas, we'd have to see. But, I mean, they could match the money. Turner's making $18 million a year. One deep cut name that I see for them at center is Mitchell Robinson. They also just need more depth. I mean, in these playoffs, Dorian Finney-Smith played over 40 minutes a game multiple times, deep 30s many times, and I mean, love Finney-Smith. He's great in his role. But when you've got him and Reggie Bullock playing a guaranteed 38 minutes a game in big playoff games, that's just kind of tough, man. With that said, they do have Tim Hardaway Jr. coming back next season. If he is not traded this offseason, we'll see. That's been a bit of a topic within Mavs circles that I've seen. So we'll see, man. The window for this team is right now. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect around Luka. It does need to get a little better. But Luka's so good, it doesn't have to be perfect, man. I mean, he just embarrassed the 1 seed in the Game 7. But they're going to have to figure out the Warriors. The Clippers and Nuggets will hopefully be at full strength next season. So yeah, they are at the Western Conference dinner table, if you will.